Yeah, you said something real powerful in terms of how sometimes you could re-intensify or perpetuate the stereotype, the things that you need to kind of demystify yourself and reprogram. Because I've seen that even on the collegiate level, where just people who work in student support services,
Mhm.
how in one particular, I had a student last year who he's looking to become a electrical engineer.
Okay.
I looked at his high school transcripts. I mean, this kid had done AP Calc. He scored like a 4 or 5 on the exam. Really, he really challenged himself in high school. So
Okay.
when he showed me his college uh, proposed schedule, I'm like, why are you taking these lower level classes? Like, where's the calculus? Where's the physics? He was like, yeah, I asked the advisor, but they told me maybe I should start off here. And then in a nutshell, he said, I don't really think they had that much faith in me. And I could see it because I'm looking at him like, in my mind, I'm like, nah, you don't need to be doing this. You need to challenge yourself. Physics one, so we need to do some thermodynamics. All this is a waste of time, dude. So literally, I had to reshape it, talk to that because I realized that as a whole, once again, predominantly black areas, black community colleges, black colleges, we have this idea like, oh, our students can't handle it because we think as a whole, like, now we need to ease them into it, get them comfortable. No, there's some amongst us, and a lot of them who they can do this work. Them going in at a lower level, you can kind of diffuse the momentum, and then all of a sudden, something that should have been up this level, you brought them down 5 notches for no reason. So
Absolutely.
I literally, and I watch it and I look around because for me, you do the math. Okay, you need 120 credit hours to get your bachelor's degree. If you come in at 12 credits, you're on a 5 year plan already. That's for more money you're showing off for college. So I tell them you needed to be doing at least 15 credits. And they look at me like I'm an alien. I said, dude, that's 4 years. Anything less than that, you're adding an additional tuition dollars. That don't make sense. Especially if you're just in school, you can hit 15, 16 credits is nothing. But we put it in our students' mind, oh, the bare minimum is 12. Just focus on 12. I was like, why are you why are you weakening our students? So we got to change the mindset.
Yeah, and Cole, you know what I push kids to do? Hit that community college scene in high school. So when you submit that app from you graduating from high school with a high school diploma and you got an AA degree and whatever you is shaves off your time. Let's be
See,
smart about this.
that's money. That's money. I said you front loaded your scholarship. Now you can finish your degree in 2 years with nothing
Boom,
out of your pocket.
boom.
Like every time I talk to parents, I said I believe in free education. If somebody is willing to foot the bill,
Let's go.
take it, that's where your kid's going. There's no need racking up student loans to start behind the 8 ball when you can start fresh out of college in the black. Everything you make is going in your pocket, not to somebody else's pocket. But yeah, but like you said, once again, we got to have high expectations for our community
Of course.
because even in the middle class communities, you'll be amazed at the amount of money we spend on athletics, like baseball, AAU basketball. They show now three. I mean, I know one buddy. He's spending like he told me 10,000 a year for his son. His son is in the fifth grade.
Yeah.
Baseball, $10,000 a year. But once again, when I
Believe
give you
it.
that
I know.
example of smart board in the classroom, do you think he's going to say, "Oh no, I'm going to pay for that smart board"? No, because that's not a priority. That doesn't meet the narrative of what can become later on,
Exactly.
professional athlete. So once again, why is it in our community we only praise the entertainers? What about the scientists?
Hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
about the digital creators? What
Mm-hmm.
about the artists? Like in their communities, they frequent the art galleries. They're looking at the different aspects because they're in the arts. They're playing instruments. They're going to the symphonies. They're going to the opera.
Mm-hmm.
But these aren't stand up the people they hold in high esteem to make the decisions or to be on the front lines for them. Then once
Absolutely.
again, we got to reshape our thinking as a whole because the educators, once again, when we go across the ocean to other continents, the educators are the ones who are in high esteem in society. Like the
Facts.
professor, the teacher,
Facts.
oh, that's the upper echelon of respect.
Facts. Facts.
you
Facts.
you don't come at them sideways, but here, your teachers, oh, you only make $30,000 a year. I'm not listening to you.
Because the
But they're
education,
the ones who provides the foundation to get you where you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
kind of world do we live in?
hearing what you guys are saying is reaffirming to me that everything starts from spirit, mind, to the emotion, out into action, out into productivity.
and that
And
and
you know,
that and
that's
that
big. Yep.
spiritual component becomes real important because I'll give an example where I think that kind of really leveraged itself when I first started teaching. And so I told you guys earlier in the conversation how I had, made a conscious effort to give my kids some of the things that I saw other communities have. And I remember one of the very first lessons that I did, I just knew I was the man. I spent the whole summer constructing this whole lesson plan and unit of amazing stuff that my kids were going to do. And so I remember the very first lesson, I wanted my kids to write about a beach. And I mean, I went all out. I had put sand in the classroom. I put pails in the classroom. I put beach balls in the classroom. I mean, I literally brought sand and the beach to Compton. And standing up there teaching that lesson, my kids looked at me and said, "What is a beach?" Now, if Kímí wasn't in tune to the spirit and just allowed to just flow in what I had to do, because the beach wasn't foreign to me. Why wasn't the beach foreign to me? I've been traveling since I can remember. So all of my summers have been spent, my mom made a conscious effort. We're traveling. So I'm beaches, Hawaii, wherever, you name it, I'm going the summer. I'm looking forward to the summer because I'm doing nothing but balling out and traveling with moms and the fam band. But it brought me all the way down to my kids were like, "Bruh, what's a beach?" And I had to reevaluate that entire process because it was like, well, Kímí, what you're doing, you're trying to introduce them to your world and your experiences and the things that you've done. And not that there isn't a place for that, but I didn't honor the fact that those kids had not left their community. Mm-hmm. They hadn't been outside a 2-mile radius. Mm-hmm. They didn't know what a beach was, what you do at a beach, what a beach looks like. They had no idea. And so if I wasn't in tune with spirit wouldn't have allowed me to just, I'm doing my own thing. But because we know the word tells us, right? How are we in connection with each other? So from that experience, I had to pull back and say, yo, Kímí, this ain't about you and your experiences. Now you've got to create a learning experiences that privilege and bring out the beauty and the essence in their neighborhood. So I had to flip all of that, and I had to go to my local carniceria or local market and say, can I do a math lesson in here? I'm talking to the owners. Can I bring my kids in here to do a math lesson? They'd be like, bet. And I had to go to the local whatever, using that community to show kids the brilliance that resides among them. But you got to tap into that spiritual world, right? COVID has given me the beautiful opportunity because I think we really need to start thinking deeply about spirituality and this notion of education. Really doing right.
That's that discernment.
Yeah.
You got to have that discernment, and you can see it's around you. And I had a similar encounter, a similar experience working with Upper Bound when I was in Dallas, Texas. Okay. Dallas, Texas. Every year, we always planned a trip for the students, and this year in particular was going to be New York. We took them to New York. They were so excited to hear, "Oh, we're going to New York." As it drew closer, we began to see the anxiety with some of these students. Didn't realize none of them had been on an airplane before.
Facts.
So getting to the airport, like people were starting to back out. We were like, what's going on here? They were like a fear because they never flew, never been to the airport. They're like, they didn't know what they were getting themselves into. In our minds, we're like, what? It quickly realized like, oh, different life experiences. and that's like the wake up call because you assume that everybody has done everything. But no, that's not the case at all.